Hello.
And welcome to another episode of Silver and Steel. I am coming at you live from the 70s. The rest of our crew is, however, in the year 2020 and ready to bring you a wonderful show. But let me introduce who they are first. Take it away, B-Dave.
B-Dave Walters. I say words about things. I'm literally somewhere 7 days a week, 3 different places today. So just follow me on Twitter to know where those are. And especially a Dark and Wish this Thursday. You won't see our special guest, but hopefully we'll be on the Twitch front page. So join us for that.
Hey, very nice. Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. I'm here right now.
Like right now?
Right now.
But then you were here then. Now you're here now, but now you're here then.
I feel like we're doing a Spaceballs bit and I'm failing at this now.
But say, technically, could you even prove that you're not asleep right now? No one can.
No, but I'm just going to roll with it. And you know what? If this is the dream I'm having, I'm okay with it.
I feel like the odds are against you.
This is an okay simulation.
That would explain us being stuck in the 70s if this was a dream the entire time. So yeah, it works. It works.
That's very true.
That's how good Zoom is now. Zoom can reach people from the past that you used to be friends with.
This is like a Field of Dreams reboot, but we don't get together to play baseball. We get together to play D&D with our dead fathers.
Yeah, we're like, is this Iowa? No.
That would be a great movie.
It's Faerun.
I would watch a movie about playing D&D with your dead ancestors.
If you build it,
they make that Pixar
crit.
film? Yeah,
Ooh,
but yeah, no,
too
that
soon.
would be pretty.
Too soon.
Wait, which one?
That would definitely be a Pixar
Onward.
film.
Onward, yeah.
I haven't seen it. Is it good?
It's really good,
so
actually.
good.
Very good, yeah.
It's nice. It's heart
I'll
rending.
have to check it out.
Yeah.
That completely ruined everyone else's intro, Meagan.
No, that's okay. Hello everyone, I'm Meagan Kenreck. I'll be playing a level 5 alchemist artificer. And Sofieus is writing a play. Is it okay if she tells you all about it?
Always. I always want to hear anything that you have to say, Sofieus.
For Sofieus, her bag of holding was a place to store her belongings, but for Sir Biswalat, it was a place to die for. And what Sofieus didn't realize is while she and her friends were checking into Callie's hometown, Sir Biswalat was checking out. From the makers of deceptive puppeteering and sleight of hand comes Tuesdays at Sir Biswalat's.
I feel like there needs to be more.
Eyes now.
You gave him dead
That's it.
eyes.
I'm leaving.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just nightmare fuel.
Wow.
That's the next movie we're making. The first movie is the D&D with your ancestors. The second one is that horror film that we just
I'm not
were
leaving
pitched.
the 70s now.
That's true. No, stay there. Save
The
yourself,
70s are looking
Jasmine.
pretty safe right now.
Yeah.
It's too late for us here with the
It's
with the
not
ghost of
worth it.
Bisqualot.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the 70s. Todd, who are you?
I got nothing. I'm married to that woman.
That's fair.
You
That's it.
agreed to this
I play
legally.
Avren.
And I am your DM, Jasmine, that bronze girl Bhullar, and I'm very excited for today's show. But before we get into that, I believe we have a trailer, right? And we're back again. I'm all over the place today. I need a cup of coffee. Hi, hello, everybody. Let's get into another episode. Wait, did we introduce our characters?
Kind of. Some of us just said we were here. Some of us were actually good about introducing our characters.
I'm stuck in the 70s. I have an excuse to not be on my A game. What's your excuse, Lauren?
I've none. I am totally distracted by this time travel episode of ours.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The important thing to remember is that every single time myself or one of our players rolls a nat 20, somebody in the audience is going to win a legendary bundle from D&D Beyond. That's the most important thing to remember. The second most important thing to remember is that Callie, that's Lauren's character, is on a murderous rampage in the Underdark to try to rescue her father from some type of cult that she is still discerning the motive of. Where we last left off, our party tracked down Callie's hometown and also tracked down one of the main instigators of sort of drugging the town using these psychedelic flowers. They burned down the entire greenhouse that was housing a number of different plants. We'll see what the fumes from that do.
Oh,
we are very quickly running away, so I feel better about this plan now.
I
I
return
mean,
to the
nothing bad can
Underdark
happen
again?
from like vaping yellow musk creeper, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
it
sure
must be
it's
fine.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably no way that could go poorly.
Nope.
And one of Callie's father's friends, or I should say a family friend named Marco, stopped by with his trusty hound, Ferdinand, and has offered to help track down your father, provided that you had something of his that Ferdinand could get a lead from. You pulled out your journal. Ferdinand was able to roll pretty well on his check and get a lead from it, and he is now leading you through the Underdark. Ferdinand leads you past the sort of edge of the town that you walked through earlier. You pass a lot of different houses and small businesses and things like that. And Callie's town is actually pretty small. It's pretty quaint. And a lot of the people here make things by scavenging and basically off of whatever they can find. So a lot of the buildings are kind of cobbled together with whatever happened to be around. So it doesn't look like your classic frontier town that you might expect. Callie, what's the name of this town?
I don't know if it's got an actual town name. We've just always called it home. There's probably a name in another language, maybe in Deep Gnome, I don't know, but it's only ever been referred to as home. It's not like there are many settlements down here, so when one of the Deep Gnomes or I say home, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And that's actually what the other locals who aren't Deep Gnomes call it. They call it Deep Home, but with an L, Deep Home.
It's that hidden old that gets in there, you know. A lot of us like to hide some of those letters in there when you're not looking.
Marco, kind of makes light conversation with you as he like follows his basset hound Ferdinand. Ferdinand's nose is pressed very firmly against the ground, ears dragging on either side of his head as he tries to pick up the scent of where he thinks Callie's father may have gone. He leads you slowly and steadily to almost like a salt cavern. There's these very large dome-shaped salt structures. And Callie, you recognize these as a place where your town's famous salt bread is cooked. This is a delicacy that's almost like a flatbread that is cooked very carefully in these like almost like underground salt kilns to really infuse the bread with like a sort of salty, earthy flavor. It's a little bit of an acquired taste, kind of like, that European salt licorice. Not a lot of people are super into it, but and you've never understood the infatuation with it, given your Warforged nature, but it's very popular among Deep Gnomes. And this is where Ferdinand stops and starts to like look around at all these different sort of like very large kilns. These like ovens are they're about 10 feet tall. They have like a little almost spigot or chimney coming out of one side. It's very narrow. They don't look like they've been used in some time. They're heated by a far sort of dug underground heated pit. And then from your understanding, what Callie describes to you is that a large, almost metal balloon-like implement is placed over this pit. And then the bread is sort of stretched over that and slowly cooked over a large period of time and comes out with this really salty, great flavor.
Is there any other way in or out of this area?
Yeah, there is a hatch that people go in and out of to put the bread on this like sort of metal balloon that's placed over the middle of the pit that's in this underground, or I shouldn't say underground. Well, you're all underground, but under this dome, this salty dome.
You are
It's
not
like
wrong.
being inside a Himalayan salt lamp.
Ooh. But there's no other like exit to the big room. Like this is the only entrance we've come into besides when the one that Ferdinand led us into.
There's another way out on the other side.
Okay.
That leads to some of the scrap yards that your dad likes to frequent.
Okay.
But this area is popular for the baking of salt breads and other salty goods.
I think Callie immediately starts looking in all of the ovens and then wants to search where the bread is made, thinking that this woman has imprisoned him somewhere in this room. So
Yes, freely.
I got a 21. And I actually moved further into the room because I'm still thinking if something terrible has happened to Sherman, I want to find him before Callie does.
Yeah.
So when she starts looking, I'm like, yeah, no, cool. It's sort of like head on in because I'm prioritizing, even though I'm going stealthily, I'm trying to move quickly rather than look. I'm just very much like left, right, like looking for your mom in a store,
Yeah.
Not over there, not over there, not over
You're
there.
moving
not over
forward rapidly. Okay, so why
Yeah.
don't you give
As
me an investigation
rapidly as I can while stealth.
Okay, yeah.
whereas I'm not stealthed, I'm just moving as quickly as possible to look everywhere.
You notice here Ferdinand almost like becomes disappointed in himself. The smell of these salt structures has successfully obliterated any scent trail that he had. And he kind of goes around in circles, sniffs the air, goes around in circles again, and then falls on the rocky, salty ground, like almost in defeat. Marco attempts to cheer him up.
That is not terrible for Freely. That's an 18, which
An
is
18.
legit almost the best he can hope for. So, like, I'm highly motivated, Callie, if I was your dad.
So with an 18, actually, that's pretty good. So
He's got a big old -1 to investigation.
Oh, do you want me to give an investigation too, since I'm rushing around looking?
Yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because I have a slightly better investigation, and I will even use some of my talent dice. So I got a dirty 20.
Okay. I'm going to give Freely a little bit of information first, just because he was kind of walking ahead of you.
Okay.
With the intent of finding something before you did. So even though your roll is better, I'm going to go ahead and rule that he stumbles upon this first. You notice, Freely, that there is something like metallic sticking out of one of the chimneys of one of these like giant salt kilns. It's very large and rectangular in shape, and it almost looks sort of anchor-like. At the other end of it, you assume, goes down into the chimney.
Like, is it anchored up to the ceiling, or like it looks like somebody's using it to climb down?
Yeah, it almost looks that way. It's like sort of, so you have the chimney coming up, and it's like this large rectangular metal block that sits wedged over the top of the chimney.
Is it something I can climb down?
Well, these are very narrow, but you feel like someone's maybe hung something down there. You could attempt to, yeah, if you can climb up there.
No, I'm not looking to get baked into bread. This is enough. I will say something via the psychic link.
Okay.
Callie, I might have found something.
And I don't recognize this as normal for anything that we do. Yeah,
and with your investigation check, you notice two things. One, that this kiln hasn't been sort of like, it's been modified. You know that the chimney is required to push some of that heated pressurized air out. The other thing you notice from just putting your hand on the sort of kiln is that it's not as hot as it's supposed to be. There is some warmth radiating out of that like sort of packed salt, but it's not the heat that you typically bake bread at.
Callie has a horrible sensation and is going to climb up and look down the chimney.
Okay, so go ahead and give me these are like domed structures. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check to see how well you get up there.
I'd like to help. I mean, I realize she's dexterous, but little boost, kind of like.
Okay.
Hang
yeah,
on,
for sure.
Just a check or a saving throw?
Let's go ahead and do an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics? Okay.
Yeah, and feel free to add what's your modifier?
Let's see. To acrobatics. 3.
Okay,
That's
so go ahead and
It's-
add that 3 to yours.
It's
to your
4
roll.
if it's athletics. So yeah.
It's a 23 then.
A 23. You managed to get to the top very easily. It's hard to look down past the this like large sort of rectangular block that is sitting on top of the chimney. And what you see when you look down the chimney is it's very dark. There's like a warm sort of light coming from somewhere far below. And you just see a thick, heavy chain that's filling most of the width of this, or I should say, yeah, most of the width of this chimney. You see a chain going down into the gloom below you.
And the block that's on the top, is it something I could move, and does it look like the chain is attached to the block?
It definitely looks like the chain is attached to the block. When you put your weight, granted Callie's not very strong, but when you put your weight against the block, it barely budges. And you feel like this is like something heavy is probably on the other end. This is like bracing something.
Okay.
I could climb down if you want. I can fit in small places, and Sofieus might be able to butter me up. I can't believe I said that out loud, but here we are. If you want me to try.
I have a very bad feeling about what I'm about to find in here, and we need to get in here quick. Can someone help me move this block?
I'm stronger than I look. I could try.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sophia's can also help.
And I lower down a rope to help a bunch of people climb up, and I don't want to climb. I don't want anyone climbing down into this thing. She thinks her dad's in this. She thinks her dad got trussed up and is in here and wants to push the block and haul up whatever's on the chain.
It's 16 to move the block for freely.
All right, you put your weight against it. It barely budges. It grinds a little bit.
What do we have to roll to push the rock?
Rotates in place. We'll just go ahead and give me a roll, and I'll let you know if it's successful. It's going to be difficult.
Okay. 17.
It's better, but no. Once again, it rotates a little bit, another inch, scuffs the top of the the rock that is the salt rock that is the chimney. But there's a chain on the other end. So as Freely moves it an inch and you move it another inch, you realize that there's something like the chain is attached to something larger. So it becomes stuck. There's nowhere for it to go.
Is it at this point that we can reach in and grab the chain and haul whatever's on the other side up?
You could attempt to, yes. It occurs to you that whatever is on the other end might be wider than the chimney, and that might be why it's stuck. The chain is stuck.
If I'm going on the assumption that this is my dad, is this chimney not big enough for a deep gnome to fit through?
Most likely, no. This would be a hard fit for Freely.
Okay.
It's pretty narrow.
And is there a front door to this, the bread making part of it? Like where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually there's like a small door. You have to kind of hunch to get through it. But that's where people set up the bread, and then using like an outdoor bellows, they apply heat, and then that's how they make it. But that's how they go in and set everything up. And then when it's done, they go in and pull it out.
Okay.
And it's nice and cool. Or cool enough to be able to be safe to go inside.
Can someone open the door up front and go take a look inside, please?
Oh, yes, of course.
And I'll start climbing my way down as well.
While they're doing all this, I would like to start casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay, perfect. Rituals take, what, 10 minutes?
10. Mm-hmm. I just sort of like plop down, and I'm like, okay, hang on. Wait, no, just breathe. Be one with the salt mine. Just feel the flow.
Perfect.
Before Sophius goes around and checks the door,
Mhm.
hey, Callie, I have this potion here. It's mostly butter, but it will make you more bold. It's an extra D4 to any saving throw, because we're not sure what's in here.
Okay, thank you. And so it's let me guess, it's bless
And attack roll. Boldness.
Okay,
A boldness potion. So
Yeah.
D4 to every attack roll and saving throw.
awesome.
Like,
For how
so it's beer. She gives you beer.
Butterbeer.
Yeah, beer. It makes you way more accurate.
Liquid courage. Yes. No, it makes you bolder, though.
Both
makes-
because both because Callie is in a hurry and also because obviously she can't drink anything. As she thanks you, she uncorks it, and I imagine what she's doing is like sliding off the side of this thing, uncorks it, and just splashes it right into her face.
Perfect.
And then sets the vial down for you to pick up later. And is going to run around and try to open the front door to this.
It can also be used topically.
I think I just did.
All right. So as you do that, sorry, I was reading real quick. How long does the potion last? I'm assuming an hour.
Actually, just for the next minute.
Oh, just for the next minute. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So as you down this butterbeer, you are filled with like this boldness, and you said you clamber down the side of the kiln and throw open the door.
Yeah.
You're met with like a puff of like a slightly pressurized air. It's not too bad. Like I said, there's a chimney, so there's some of this air is being let out. It's not a pressure cooker. And it's warm and humid and steamy, and it smells very salty, but it's a good smell. You're met with the smell of like herbs and fresh baked bread. It's almost like low-key comforting. And the sight that meets your eyes is one that is in equal measures comical, but also startling. You see your father, Sherman, trapped in a cage that is hanging from the top of the kiln, using his toes to grab onto a ledge where he swung the cage over on one side, on one of the shelves where bed is baking, using his mouth to kind of draw a pattern using a pen while holding on to the sides of the bar onto a journal from a bag that he's opened God knows how and spread the contents of on the floor. And you notice there that the nib of the pen is cracked and is starting to create very large pools of spidery of ink everywhere as he's holding the ledge with one foot, bracing himself against the bars with the other, and leaning his head out of the side of the cage, trying to draw in this journal with a broken pen.
And it's comical, but at this moment, Callie is going to be distraught for probably the first time you've seen her, and she's going to say, "Dad?"
He drops the pen out of his mouth and looks utterly excited to see you. He almost lets go of his grip on the ledge. And as he does, the cage kind of swings over to the other side. And he quickly grabs a shelf on the opposite side. As your eyes dart to where he grabs, you notice that like he's managed to swing the cage back and forth. And managed to reach some of the bread that was cooking on this side. A lot of it has bites taken out of it, and he's getting low, but he's managed to make his way like this. And he looks over at you and he says, "Oh, why golly, Callie, it is so nice to see you, honey."
"Oh, Dad, I was really worried.
I was afraid I wasn't ever going to be able to get that message to you. I'm just glad that you understood, darling."
I'm not sure if I understood, but I could tell that something was wrong. How do we get you out of here?"
"Well, as it just so happens, I've managed to devise a way to sort of route some water up to the top of the kiln, thereby dissolving some of the salt, thereby dripping it onto the chain up here, slowly decaying it. It is a little rusted, and I anticipate over the course of maybe 2 weeks, it would break naturally. But if maybe you gave it a good strike, it would break now. I will, however, ask that you do so very carefully, for there is an oven underneath me." And now you notice the large sort of balloon-shaped pan, for lack of a better word, that they use to like spread this bread over and cook on has been moved aside, and deep down below you there is just like an open pit of fire.
I cast Warding Bond on Callie's dad.
Okay, perfect.
The cage that he's in, do I see a door and a lock?
You do see a place where there's like, you imagine one of these sides opens because there's a place where they're chained together. And here's also where you notice that one of the bars your father has very skillfully removed and used as like a way to sort of like permanently like fix himself away from the fire at times, using it as almost like a leverage point, but it hasn't created a gap large enough for himself to get through.
Okay. And the side that opens, is there a lock I could pick?
Yeah, you could definitely do that. It's a little bit high up off the ground, but you could probably climb up the shelves and get to it.
Is there anything that we can use to cover the pit, and then I can go in here and just unlock the cage?
I believe, actually, I think Sofieus has something for that.
Sofieus has been stealing bread whenever she can the whole time she's been in here. So she's just gonna throw a huge stack of bread over the pit, and hopefully that sort of douses the fire a little bit.
I feel like bread just burns. I mean, if it was something a little bit more like a blanket or something more that could envelop the fire, then it could smother it. But even then, there's a like I mentioned before, there's an external channel where there's a bellows to like feed air in. So smothering it might prove to be difficult.
Can she take her jar of mayonnaise and stuff it in that exhaust where it's intaking the air?
From the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely work. That would cut off a lot of the air to the fire and it would reduce it by quite a bit.
Yeah, let's cut off the oxygen with mayonnaise.
Okay, perfect.
That's a sentence that has been said in D&D.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So you go around the outside of the kiln, and sure enough, you do notice the channel that Callie pointed out to you, where air is fed into the kiln from the outside using, this bellows. You pour the mayonnaise into that channel, and it blocks it up pretty well because there's an opening at the end of it. So you remove the bellows, fill that opening with mayonnaise, and sure enough, on the inside, Callie, if you close the door, the fire will start to die down pretty quickly.
All right. I'm going to get into the kiln and then close the door. I'm not going to leave him alone in there.
Okay. It's going to be a little bit stuffy. It's going to be a little bit smoky because the chimney is only doing so much work since, like I said, it has this big chain in the middle of it.
Yes, but I don't need to breathe. So she will crawl on in and wedge herself somewhere and close the door until it looks like the fire has gone out enough that she could go over, unlock the cage, and if something were to go really wrong, no one's going to get terribly burnt.
Okay, perfect. You'll have to work with speed here, especially because your father does need to breathe. Go ahead and give me we'll need an acrobatics check to see how easily you climb the shelves along the side where bread has been stacked and get to the cage, and then a sleight of hand check to see if you can pick the lock.
Okay.
Well, actually, you have thieves' tools, so why don't we let's use that check instead.
Okay, so my acrobatics check with the bless is a 28.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So you make very quick work of this. You climb up there almost like a spider, and you sit perched on a very narrow bread shelf. Thankfully, it's mostly empty since your father has eaten a lot of the bread on that side of the kiln.
Then I'm gonna roll all the things. So, my thieves' tools check, was a 26 plus 4 for the bless plus 6 for my talent dice. So that was a 35. So Callie,
36.
26, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 36. Sorry.
36. Yeah. So
Callie, she's done and wants her dad back, and I think Dad's probably used to seeing me do this, and no one else can. But she moves with blinding speed to take care of this. Like everything is just one-handed, and she's ready to yank it open and grab him and get out.
Yeah, it happens so rapidly. He immediately like throws his arms around you, almost knocking you off balance a little bit, and then like in his classic position, puts his arms around your neck and gets on your back, piggyback style, nuzzling his cheek against yours, and he says, "Oh, Callie, I'm so thankful that you came through, honey.
I'm glad that we got here in time. Come on, let's get out of here." And I will shakily pull him back out, because even though he does this on a regular basis, she's not very strong. But she will. If she has to crawl her way out to get him out of this, she will.
Why were you in the cage again?
I was captured, punished for doing some type of rebellion. I tried to liberate the town, he says, coming out of the kiln.
What were you trying to liberate the town from?
Well, I don't really know what she is. Started a few weeks ago. There was some type of people coming through trying to claim that Lolth had arisen. I'm going to keep it honest with you, though. From my investigation, this ain't no Lolth. It's some sort of flowery outgrowth that's got some type of sentience of its own and managed to hoodwink a bunch of people into thinking that it was an avatar of Lolth through psychedelic visions and things like that. So they started tending to her, tending her gardens and her buds until she became something more.
Well, she is now dead.
Do you mean
Oh,
this flower? And she holds up her vial of there's butter and there's some of that turquoise and purple flower, and there's also a dead worm inside of it. Is this the flower you were talking about?
Well, that's part of it. There's a whole grove of them deeper in the caves.
What exactly does this flower do again?
Well, if you breathe in the spores or consume it in any type of way, I guess that's how you get the visions or she speaks to you. There was a small amount of time where I was under the sway as well. I don't know much about her, other than she's very old. I don't even know how I managed to come back to myself. I think I just wanted so very badly to just be with my family again and live a normal life. And one day I just woke up. So I tried to get other people to wake up too. I tried to lead a rebellion against the more brainwashed members of the town, and things went south. She didn't like that. That's when she sent her lieutenant to try to re-indoctrinate me. Well, turns out once you shake this stuff off, it doesn't really have the same effect on you anymore. And she didn't take too kindly to that. So then she had that purple-haired hussy tie me up in this cave like this. I think they were intending on cooking me alive. Yeah? He looks at you freely.
Has my detect magic activated yet?
Yes, and you do detect magic off of the journal that is sitting open on one of the shelves that he's been drawing into. You also detect some magic coming from like the fire that was originally cast down below. Yeah.
Although my boy is not very observant, I'm gonna hit Avren with message. Avren.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if there's anybody else in any of these other kilns and where their buddy got off to that led us here.
Oh yeah.
And I actually rolled and I got a natural 20 from my perception. Hey, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna spot anything. Actually, I see everything across reality. You know?
It's a wide gap. Nothing or everything. Nothing in between.
Literally, yeah. Like the full glasses go on and reality swirls behind me there. I guess so. What I'm trying to find is, do any of these other kilns have a similar setup as his? Like other people are trapped here. And dude who led us here, where is he and how's he acting? Marco. Yeah.
You do see one other kiln that seems to have another one of these apparatuses in it. And then you also see, or you said you wanted to see how Marco is reacting. Marco seems overjoyed and excited to see his former sort of like rebellion commander safe and alive. And you hear Marco say, "Oh, I thought you were dead for sure." And Ferdinand is like looking at Sherman's heels as well. And it's like a happy little reunion.
While this is all like, I don't say anything. I just go over to the other kiln and open the door and see if someone's inside.
When you go to the other kiln and open the door, you're seen with like the sight is kind of sad. There is a strange whirring mechanical contraption inside another cage. This cage is a lot closer down to the ground. And it almost looks like half melted in some ways, and in some places stuck to the metal of the cage. It's very box shaped. It has 4 very springy legs and 2 large eyeballs, very goggle like on the front, and like 2 antennas with balls on the ends.
This time I hit Sofieus with the message. Sofieus, there's some sort of contraption over here.
Oh, I'll be right there. She runs over as fast as she can. And on her way in, she's gonna slap some mayonnaise in that intake just in case for safe measures, and take a look at that box that Freely is talking about. Oh, it looks like it's a little melted. I wonder if it still works. Can she roll an investigation on what function it serves?
Of course.
Even though she's like right there next to me, I'm still using message because nobody else can hear us. And I'm like, I'm just worried about this. Something about this just seems fishy.
That's mayonnaise.
It is the burning mayonnaise, probably.
Oh, no, but I'm used to that. I spend a lot of time with you. No, I do prefer the burning butter, for the record, but...
Meanwhile, Callie is just doting
Oh,
over her father.
We can work that out. She's gonna just
Like
throw a couple
expecting
sticks of
all
butter
of
in the
your-
fire.
Okay.
While she's doing that, I hit Avren and I let him know what's happening. I was like, I'm trying not to interrupt the reunion, but there's like a machine over here. And I described to him what I'm seeing. I'm like, Sofieus is investigating, but it's got like legs and antennas, but it's kind of burnt. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's her thing.
yeah.
I rolled a 17 on my investigation check.
Okay. Just a second.
And she's spraying her butter perfume too to mask the odor of burning mayonnaise.
True. I don't know if that's better or worse.
I was
It's an
gonna
odd bouquet.
say.
It's an odd
Both.
bouquet.
Both.
Sofieus. Okay. There's every once in a while, just a little prestidigitation of a little gust of wind. I'm like, oh yeah, no, the breeze in this cave. It's too much. Yeah. All right.
All right. So as that's happening, as you're looking at the bot, your reunion with your father is going very well. You notice your dad is looking at all your dented bits and your scratched parts and taking like a little tinkering to them already and being like, oh, well, now, honey, I think we could probably bang this one out right here.
Dad,
Like
not
that
in front
shouldn't
of
be-
everybody. No,
Oh, I'm
I came here
sorry.
to save you. You don't have to worry about me. I just came as quickly as I could, but I'm fine. It'll be fine.
I wish I didn't need saving. I'm telling you, another 2 weeks, I might have had that, but I couldn't take the risk. I thought maybe I should try to send you a message.
I have no doubt that you could have escaped on your own, but I'm glad that you told me because there's no reason that you needed to wait that 2 weeks. Salt bread is not going to wait that long and last that long. And
Oh, Kel, you poor simple soul. You've never tasted salt bread, so you really don't know that salt bread, I mean, you could probably live off that a little bit longer than 2 weeks.
yeah, but
That's pretty good.
there's no reason for you to. I have friends and we are here. And
That's true, but there's no reason to go knocking the salt bread. I got some of the rosemary thyme salt bread on the top shelf there. That was pretty good.
you will have to.
The first 2
explain-
days went pretty well.
Well, you will have to.
I know
You
you,
will just
like
be
the
smelling-
descriptions like that, so
Yeah.
I'm trying. Yeah,
You
It's
will
very
just be
moist and
smelling like
fluffy.
bread for a while, and hopefully
Yeah,
it's
I
not something
will.
you've grown sick of. Because yeah, let me go grab your book, and she'll scramble back on in to go grab his
This
his book and
broken
any
fountain
yeah.
pen.
anything else that he's got in there. She'll collect and bring back out.
hmm Meanwhile, Sofieus does like a preliminary investigation of the yes, freely.
Does this object register as magic to my detect magic? Because it's centered on me, so as I'm moving or anything within 30 feet.
Yeah, it does. It has like a vague flickering of magic, but it seems more mechanical to your eye.
I tip her off to that as she's doing what she's doing. The
Okay.
goggles are on now. It's real.
hmm As Sofieus investigates it, she gathers that the function of this like small robot is reconnaissance. The feelers on its head serve to sort of like guide it through tight spaces, and the giant goggles, which also have night vision, serve to survey. And its small size helps it get into small locations.
She's going to say through the psychic link to everybody. So I found this little contraption. It seems to be a surveillance bot, and I would not be surprised if we found more of them laying around in these kilns.
Oh, and out loud, Dad, I think my friends have found one of your sentry bots, and I'll point.
Oh no! He goes running. That voice was not his at all.
It is now. Listen,
voice.
You spend several days inside of a salt kiln, and your voice is gonna be a little hoarse. It's fine. I totally understand. However you need to sound, that's fine. Yeah, we'll rush on over.
And he says, like, what have they done to my creations? And he runs into the kiln and he goes, oh, this was my little mini Callie, my C2D2.
Oh,
I have a sister?
Yeah, your little baby sister. Oh, she's all melted. My cavern camera danger detector. C2D2 for short. Oh.
Oh,
And he
Callie,
tries
C2,
to, like,
D2 looks just like
pull
you.
it off the cave, but like in places it's like, or he pulls it out, tries to pull it out the cage, but its little melted bits have almost like melded with the cage in some places.
Callie looks over at Avren, and you could swear her eyes have gotten big. I've only been gone 6 days, and I just... My dad was almost killed, and I have a sister.
Yeah, that tracks. That's usually how it goes. Right. So,
Is that?
like, what? Yeah, totally. It's totally a normal thing. Everyone does it. I was gone, and there were like 18 of me. People multiply very quickly. It's just one of those things. Take a look at it. Is this like a? Yeah, can I heal this thing, or is this more like someone needs to like get some tools and like do a
This
thing?
is going to be more of a mechanical operation. There is like a spark of life in it, similar to Callie's. But it's not
I
no
knock on the
part
top.
of it. Yeah. As you knock on the top of it, it gives like a small whir.
Yep. It's
It's like one large eye blinks open.
I think this is a Sofieus thing. Maybe mayonnaise or like
Celebrating.
butter or like I don't know.
No, she's gonna take out her utility belt and plop it down on the ground, and a whole bunch of tools fall out.
Mhm.
And she's gonna do some further investigation on this little turret C2D2 and see if there's something she can do to use her tinker's tools to tinker it back to full functionality.
Wait, was it
Yeah.
C2D2 or E2? Did I hear a convention or did I hear a
C2D C2D2.
C2D2.
I heard C2E2 and I'm like,
danger detector. That's the 2Ds.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. I was thinking of a convention. Sorry.
Yeah, the cavern camera danger detector.
Now
Is
this
this
one
awkward
last.
for you, Callie, right now? Her watching her operate on this your sister?
No, I know she was trying to help. Is it awkward for you when you are healing other people?
Well, I mean, it's awkward when I see the insides of people. Yeah, it's
Well, yes, but it's only awkward if you have caused it and you didn't want to cause it, correct?
No, that's when it's not awkward. Actually, well, yes, that's true. That if I did it and I didn't want to, then I tend to feel quite bad. But if
Yeah.
I wanted to, then I'm like, oh, your intros are now your extrails. You kind of had that coming. So
No,
Yeah.
I know Sophia's is trying to help. And in fact, I'll go on over and assist Sophia's in whatever she's doing. Hold up the welding torch.
doing
Well,
it great. I'm just giving terrible advice. Nope, that's not where it goes. Put the
Oh,
Stop
No.
Avren-splaining. Stop it.
no. That's a curbile wrench. I don't know what that means.
there seems to be little magical stones inside of this one.
Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Can I assist in this?
Definitely, yeah.
All right, you get +6 then.
Who's doing the sleight of hand check?
You.
You.
Since you're
Is it
I'm assisting
moi?
you.
That would be
Okay.
you, Doctor.
Yeah.
Yes, me. I get it. Okay, 19. And what was the
+6.
+6.
wow, 25.
25. So you managed to very deftly basically remove the leg that has like melted. It looks like it tried to like sort of wheedle its way to the side of the cage furthest from the heat. So you're able to deftly remove this leg and then remove the bot. And as you do, like sort of take it outside and cool it off, and its processors and servos start to like cool, she comes back to life. She like whirs and buzzes and clicks twice, and you see like this like very pretty, almost like fuchsia color, like light up in the eyes, almost like little pupils,
Oh,
and they're very like large, and they focus in on Sherman. And Sherman's like, "Oh, she's safe. This makes me so happy, Callie." And he like grabs her, and, like pets her little antenna balls.
I'm not sure how to react to having a sister, but I am happy. This is not
don't
at all
tell
what I
me you're
expected.
jealous.
No, of course not.
Oh, good. Oh.
I was afraid while I was gone that you were going to be alone, and now knowing that you were able to create more family to have with you, that makes me feel a lot better. But still, I'm happy to not be the only one. Hi, C2E2. My name is Callie Zaffrab. It is very nice to meet you.
He's like, "Well, she's still learning how to talk, but maybe she can go on." And he like puts her on the ground, and she like looks up at you nervously, and like
I
does
will-
one of these, and he
I will
pats it on
kneel
the butt.
down so that
Yeah.
I am more at her eye
He's
level.
like, go on. And she like very cautiously like zoop, 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 zoop. Acknowledged. Good morning, Callie Zaffrab. I am C2D2.
Acknowledge. It is
Zoop.
good to meet you. How long have you been online for?
I have been online for exactly 3 weeks.
Well, happy 3rd week birthday then. I have been online for 3 years, 1 month, 7 days,
Megatron,
19 hours,
my birthday
42
is in
minutes, and 30
3
seconds.
hours, but I appreciate your early birthday wishes.
Please remind me in 3 hours so that I can give you a proper birthday at 3 weeks.
I've been
I
online
would
for about 3
appreciate
million years. How you doing?
3 million years.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
a long
a
time.
very long time.
Yeah, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
Oh,
Freely.
that's it. Avren, I didn't know that you were that much older than me. I knew there was like a few year difference, but wow.
Well, it's the
Oh,
loop.
yeah.
It's the loop.
No, you got a lot of years to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually hit Sofieus with message again, and I'm like, man, this dude's had a busy 3 weeks. He built a doctor, led an insurrection, was imprisoned. Like, wow.
When did he have time to build another machine while being trapped in a cage?
He hasn't been in the cage for 3 weeks. He's
How
only
long has he been in the cage for?
since Callie got the black blotch on it, which was like
Weird
5
message.
days ago. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is it message or is it the psychic link that we're in?
So I'm using message. I
You're
don't want
using
Kelly to hear
message.
any of this.
All
Yeah,
right.
No, this is all message. Yeah. One last thing. I want to use my divine sense. So undead celestials or fiends within 60 feet.
Mhm.
Just do I detect anything?
You said undead celestials or
Undead
fiends?
celestials or fiends. It says detect good and evil, but then it specifies
nothing
undead
to do with
celestials
good
or
or
fiends.
evil.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's none of those things. Great,
It's
awesome. Yeah.
Old school
Nothing pops up
leftovers
on
are.
your radar.
I actually messaged Sherman,
Okay.
and I'm like, excuse me, Mr. Zaffrab, I'm glad that we got you back and you're all safe and sound. But I'm down here with your daughter, Callie, and I know she's going to want to go on a vengeance-filled rampage now. So maybe if you could point me in the direction of the bad guy, we may be able to take care of this quietly and keep your little girl safe.
He like whirls around, not at all surprised by your messaging. He's very used to communicating with Callie that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Like,
and he says to you, like this actually he says out loud to almost to everyone, where he says, well, if I'm being quite honest, I like to go on a vengeance-filled rampage myself.
We're the one who
does
taught
he
me
say
how-
out loud or in message?
yeah, he said
No,
that
out loud.
Yeah.
To
Mhm.
everyone.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm totally down for vengeance rampages. I mean, I'm like not even particularly angry, but you know, it's hot down here, so seems like a good time to start stabbing
This
things.
overgrown flower bed ruined my town.
Exactly.
Strung me
Oh,
up in an
God.
oven. Almost cooked me alive.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And her
Uh,
one of my favorite things I've ever made. Like
Mm.
I understand that she's not quite the ballet of science, crystalline structures in wood and metal that is Callie, but little C2 is lovely and likable in her own way.
That's how I
Dad,
feel about Freely. Yeah, totally.
I mean, it's not
Dad, you don't
inaccurate.
need to flatter me in front of my friends. That is fine.
I remember when I was building Freely for the first time.
That is not at all what
Then
happened.
I cast-
Not even a little bit.
Then I modified his memory to make him think he was a real boy. It's very
It's
complex.
not Pinocchio. What are you talking about? I just, but I am
You,
No, if you want
you have no
Pinocchio, that's
evidence it's
literally
not
me.
true.
literally you.
me and my dad.
I mean, when we don't know that we're not fighting Monstro when we get back to the ocean. So yeah, that's true. While they're all talking, I stealth again, like 25. Like I very much am like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Hey, what's over there? And just like step behind one of the kilns. I'm like,
Dad, so we took care of Nellie and the overgrown garden that she had in that greenhouse, and we do have possession of the flower that she was using, but you said that there were others besides the townsfolk that were affected by this. There's others that came with her, or is it just this flower?
Well, that's how it started. You see, at first there was only a couple of these flowers that people came across in this obscure remote cavern to the northwest of here. And they started acting strange. And I think that's how this thing works. She takes anybody she thinks she could be useful to her. And she kind of bends them to her will, me included. She's looking for something, a seed or a mote or something like that. I remember when she was inside my head, she was trying to get me to come up with a way to excavate more efficiently so she could find it. She knows it's buried somewhere here, but she doesn't know where it is. But I was only on one of her operations. She had several. She had a lot of the town people coming out with like gardening tools and bags of fertilizers and stuff back to that remote cave. And from what I could gather and from the blooms Nellie brought into town, I could tell she's proliferating, almost becoming something new or something else. I don't really know what this is. I don't know if the flowers themselves are sentient, if it's some type of sentient colony. I don't even know what her motives are. She successfully convinced some people that she was this ancient goddess named Lolth, but I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty sure she's just an overgrown fungi.
Can we just like burn the entire cave? I mean, is that a thing?
Well, I would like to
Well-
have a town to come back to.
So we're in the business of saving people. Yeah, I forgot.
Well, we don't know how this flower is going to react if we ignite it. Could be we create a giant noxious cloud of brain control gas.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Nellie was just a trader that came in through the crossroads, and I don't know. I feel like this greater entity, whatever she is, took a shine to her and used her
Are we-
charisma.
Are we ready for this, or do we need to take a moment now that we found your dad? Should we not prepare for what lies ahead?
Well, do we know what lies ahead? I thought
Sounds like
If-
giant fungus stuff.
if we have found the flower, is there anything else we need to do except break the hold that this flower has over the rest of the town?
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought there's like more flour down there in the cave.
Oh, there definitely is.
Mm.
They
Well,
were bringing
that's-
them. They're carting them into town. Nellie was a florist.
Yeah.
And now Nellie has turned them into some kind of hybrid flower. Sherman, during all of this, did you by any chance create some kind of gas mask that will allow you to safely breathe?
Well, like I said, once the hold is broken, you become immune. So me and some of the others, I was able to sort of snap out of it, or naturally snapped out of it. Didn't really run into this issue again.
How did you snap out of it? Like you just got real angry, and then you're like, no.
Basically, yeah, I felt like I was in a dream
Okay.
for the longest time, like a good dream. And then one day I just started to
Hmm.
question the dream. Started
Well,
to question
Kelly-
my reality.
You seem to be in a daze-like state. Were you having a nice dream when you touched that blue flower?
It was so brief. I did think the flower was talking to me, and then I believe Avren did something to snap me out of it. But I was
Accurate.
entranced for several seconds
It's
at least.
true. I did save your life. That's true. Yep.
Well, with that being said, Sherman, do you think that Callie here has an immunity to this flower?
Well, I hope so. She's very stabby. No offense,
I
Kelly.
am.
Actually, it's not really. That's a compliment where I'm from. Yeah,
But-
I don't know. I feel like we should prepare. This sounds very daunting and dangerous, and a bunch of you might die. Plus, C2E2, the tiny thing, the toaster oven,
C2D2.
C2D2. We don't want, your
Good.
sister to die. That'd be inappropriate.
Little Miss Danger Detector.
Yeah. And
I am
think
very
about Sir Bissalot. Like Sir Bissalot has,
Oh.
you gotta keep Sir Bissalot alive and safe.
Sir Biswalat.
Well, I would prefer if nobody died.
I as well.
yeah.
So the thing that we did just before we came here was burn down the entire greenhouse and kill Nellie and grab this flower and put it in a secure location. You're saying there is another place that these flowers are being grown.
Well, obviously, you have some sense of it. I'm assuming from what you described, she spoke to you.
I got a sentence, but then after my hold was
That means she's still out there, or whatever she or it is.
Yeah, I tried to connect to the flower with our psychic link, and I could not. I got the sense that it was not a sentient object. So I do not know where that voice came from, but you're probably right.
Maybe
Do
it's some type of enchantment then. But something must be controlling it.
You know a lot more about that than I do. Or Avren or Sofieus or Freely. That is not my forte. As Avren likes to point out on a very regular basis, I stab things.
Yeah, it's true.
I-
I gotta
I
tell you,
have-
I'm a bit spent, so I could use a break.
Mm. Well,
Mhm.
we could always take him back to our place, Callie.
Mm.
Get him nice
Hey.
and cozied up.
Avren, do you need like an hour or do you need a night?
Well,
A
back in
night.
the day,
A
I
night,
only needed
probably.
about 10 minutes, but things have changed.
What
That's
would
all
you
right.
all
Yeah,
say to taking
nobody's as young as they used to be.
what if we all just took a long rest? And since Sherman here is saying that we need immunity to this flower, then we can take this flower and experience its effects for the night. And then when we wake up, we will be immune.
So we'll get high off the flower. Well,
I
someone
did not.
has to
I
not
did
be
not
high.
say get
Yeah,
high. I
we
did
need-
not
Like
yeah,
a
say
we
get
sweat
need-
high.
lodge,
Not that, yeah.
Yeah.
Dad, I think you were already in one of those.
like a ayahuasca type of situation. Is
Do you
that-
Yeah,
think you
because
can make some
Oh, what
kind
is
of...
ayahuasca?
You do not want me to fall victim to that stuff. Trust me.
No, he's got an arm with a blade in it. It doesn't
Shing.
usually work out.
Well, okay. Well, I will hide that on you if we all are interested in
Remember
this
that goblin
particular
village?
approach.
Really, that was terrible. That was so many
No,
dead.
well, you know, that's it. It's
The
they
younglings.
were animals, and I slaughtered them like animals. Right.
Okay, right. Well, not all of it has left his system. So, is there a possibility we could actually brew? I don't know how alchemy works.
like a
brew-
vaccination,
Yeah,
Antidote.
like that. That's
like a smaller dose of it for
yeah. Just a little,
introducing your
just a little
body.
touch.
fight it off.
Just a little,
While
Microdosing.
you're all talking, Sophia's takes a sip out of her vial.
Mhm.
Okay.
Of the
Just
the
a real
butter
small
and flour
Yeah.
combo.
butter, flour, worm. Yep. She has no idea what's going to happen.
Okay. So as you take the sip, go ahead and make a willpower saving throw.
Willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom.
Or that, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Or
Some of us play a lot of vampire.
Yeah,
Oh,
some of us
I
play
get
a lot
it.
of vampire.
Play a lot of vampire. Play a lot of
Okay.
vampire.
You know,
Yeah,
I've asked.
I was like, wait
my
a minute.
bad.
I'm not
It's
trying
alright.
to confront the DM. If you want to switch to vampire real quick, then I get it.
Funny thing, digital dice can actually land on the side, and it was between a natural 20 and an 8. I
I would
got
just re-roll it.
I got a,
Mhm.
but it does say I got a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You
Mhm.
got a
No,
9.
then it's a 9.
So as you take a sip, you feel your brain almost like pull back, like you're watching your body like from a third perspective.
Oh, I wonder if this
And,
is what they meant by astral projecting.
As you're almost like floating above yourself, you feel like very comfortable. You feel very floaty and very almost happy with where you're at. And you hear a voice similar, not that you would know, to what Callie heard. You hear like a very like musical, calming voice speak to you, and it says, "Well, my, what a lovely mind we have here. You should tell your friends to drink from the vial too.
Oh,
You should tell them
okay.
it's safe,
Yeah, I feel great. I want everybody to feel this way.
right? Wouldn't that be the nice thing to do?
Yeah, I don't
To
want to keep
share
this all
your
to
fortune
myself.
and your health with everyone?
Of course, I don't want to be greedy.
Sophia's?
Yes.
I have a question. Yeah.
Yes, and I have
Wouldn't
an
it be
answer.
You seem to be talking to someone. Are you doing
Oh.
okay there? Would you
Yes.
like to join them? Why don't you ask them where they're
do
at?
you want to do something here? B. Dave's had his hand up for a second.
So I rolled natural 20. You can tell
Okay.
me if
Okay,
it's sleight
wow.
of hand or attack. I'm going to knock the vial out of her hand, but honestly, that high, I'd like to my sword come out, just shatter the vial.
Yeah, yes.
It's like right where she's like, here. Blarg.
Mhm.
Destroy
So,
the vial and the contents.
Why would
as
you
the
do
vial
that?
comes up, the bloom, the glass, the worm cut perfectly in half and like falls to the ground as you're offering it to Avren.
That's gonna make it a little more difficult to bring back. From the
Okay, so
dead.
freely a couple of things. One, here's this thing called deception. So, yeah, that's no. You stand over there for a minute.
No, you're
So
welcome.
Tell us, Sophius, how does this thing that you're talking to? Would it like us to join it?
I don't know, but I'm feeling a couple of different feelings right now. I was feeling very euphoric, but I'm still euphoric, but
I'm really sad at the fact that my dead worm is now cut in half.
Nope,
Free-
it's not dead. It's not dead at
It is
all.
not
It's
dead.
totally
Oh,
fine. No,
thank you.
I'm gonna
What's
handle
it
that.
just cut in half?
Why don't you talk to our brand new friend that you're talking to and ask it where we can
Oh.
go find it? And I'm piecing
course,
the worm
yeah.
together, and I'm literally going to try to start sewing it back together.
I should have hit the worm with smite. Just pow.
Stop attacking my worm!
Wait, did you put Biswala in with the flour?
Yep.
Is it
Yeah.
the same worm? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And a bunch
okay.
of butter. Like that's a thing that anything survives. Yes, uh-huh.
It's my own essence.
I can't wait for this thing to be raised from the dead as some kind of undead horror. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, I am just like mouth, needle, just sewing it back together. Like I swear to God.
Daisy's gonna
and-
ride this thing like the proud mount it's meant to be when she takes over the world. It's gonna be great.
Absolutely. Oh, nice flower lady. Are you still here?
You hear the voice come to you, and she sounds displeased. Oh my, the bloom. It's broken.
I know. Freely whacked it out of my
Never
hand.
mind. Come to me quietly. I'll
Wait,
give you
what's-
more. All
wait,
the
but where
flowers
are
you could
you?
ever want.
But where are
And you
you? I
feel
don't
like
see
a
you.
pull from like deep within you. You feel a compulsion
Oh.
to start walking in a certain direction.
Oh, I guess we're going this way now.
Break time's over, Avren.
Yeah. I'm sewing it up. Just follow her. She's clearly
Well, I
In
just
a
hit it with
state-
mending. I'm like, fine, there, your worm's intact. Let's go.
Marco, Ferdinand, will you take my father and my sister back to their house and stay there for us, and we'll be right back.
Sherman like kind of pauses and he's like, "Are you sure you don't want me to come with you, darling?"
I have enough friends that I need to look after. I don't need to look after you again, and I think you need a moment or two to rest and recover. And I'm gonna go follow her, but we will be back, and I can lead them back to the house, and then we can decide on what we're supposed to do next.
And if this goes poorly, you're gonna have to send somebody to rescue us.
This is very true.
All
I
right,
trust you, Dad.
pumpkin. I trust you too, darling.
I love
just
you.
Be safe out there, all right? I don't know what I would do if anything ever happened to you.
That's why I'm here because
Take
I didn't.
C2. She'll keep you safe. She'll come let me know if anything goes wrong.
Okay. I
She's
hate
only
taking
got
my.
3 legs now, but she'll be all right.
She's got one more than me. All right. I will talk to you. We'll be back soon.
I have rolled
Alright.
4 19s and 2 20s, so
Cleans a
I'm-
smudge off your cheek, like kisses you on the forehead.
Dad, not in front of my friends.
Be safe, all right?
You too.
And don't
I'm
forget to
desperately-
stretch. You don't want to, not be limber before you go in. Make sure you watch your back.
I'm going to include him in the psychic link while we're doing this because I have up to a mile, so why not? So in the moment, I'm going to include him and my sister and all of my friends, and I'm going to say, we will keep in touch.
And as you include your sister into the link, you hear her voice say, psychic connection. I also desire this upgrade.
It is very useful.
Is this a software patch that I may download?
It does come with a small bit of hardware installation that can take a few days.
I will seek out this part.
Yeah, that freely. We can just kind of install something in you, and you'll be able to do this.
Yes.
It is not very
Alright.
compatible with organic
Yeah.
materials.
How
I
do
just
you
hold up my
feel-
hand. I'm like, hey.
How do you feel about your left temple or your right temple? Just
I have an access
asking.
port. I'm ready.
Freely,
That's not access to your brain.
freely, I would highly recommend not getting that upgrade because you do not want a total head replacement. That does involve things that we cannot do with organic materials at the moment. Also, we should follow Sofieus, and I will.
No, I'm
Also,
after Sofieus,
you
yeah.
should not show people your access part. Those are your no's.
Yes, you always
Well,
want
I mean,
consent when you do
when
that.
a consenting construct and another consenting construct, like a
Not
you know,
appropriate as she
Yep.
waddles in front
Yep.
of you.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
like you're 3 weeks old. It's time to become whatever you are.
I'm
Yeah.
sticking very close to Sophia's, and the moment, like, if she even like tries to like run or whatever, I'm going to drop lesser restoration on her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have stealthed again. I was saying I've rolled 4 19s and 2 20s, so I'm gonna be useless in the actual fight. But again, Freely's a ghost. Just
Yeah.
I am not stealthing. I'm keeping a close eye on Sophius and Avren and my sister. And I just want to keep a close eye in general charting where we're going, trying to see if I remember where we're going, if I know what's ahead, and keeping an eye out for anybody that might be sneaking around looking at us. So
Technically, my detect magic is still up, so anything within 30 feet, I should notice.
Okay.
Well, for 10 minutes, you tell me when 10 minutes is up. But within 10 minutes, if I get near anything magical, I
Yeah.
should know it.
Yeah. So as you're walking forward, sure enough, you come across like a large, like flat area that has like these deep pits dug into it. Sofieus is very deftly making her way around them. Like I said, almost like sleepwalking. And you see C2D2 stop and scan one of them and be like, ah, yes, the hole Sherman spoke of.
which hole
This
was
information will be filed away for later.
which hole was this?
Seeking some sort of mote of power.
This is where they were.
Not a very efficient way to conduct a search.
No, definitely not. They didn't even try to put a grid plan together or anything.
Pathetic.
Well, they were under a mind control, and we cannot blame them.
Irrelevant.
You're going to have to learn to give our organic family a little more leeway when it comes to this kind of logical behavior.
Her pretty fuchsia eyes like look up at you and blink twice. Why?
Because it will be better for your software processes to not have to compute that many irregularities.
But some organics are intelligent. These organics are stupid.
Not wrong.
Yes, this is true. This is why it's sometimes good not to think about it, because trying to understand it would only lead to software meltdown.
Sofieus, are we close?
Click, 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 click.
Oh, what does that, Avren?
Are we close to your friendly
Oh.
friend?
Hold on, let me ask my new friend. Hey, nice flower lady, are we close?
You don't get an answer back. Just this
Oh.
once again, this strange compulsion to like keep moving forward.
Oh, okay. Well, she did not answer me, Avren. I think she's mad at me.
Yeah, you're super high right now. So, what you got on you? What you got on you right now? Do you have like any do you have like shrink
Oh.
potions or enlarge potions or potions that turn you green? I don't know what you have.
Well, yes, of course, I have many potions on me. I have flight potions, transformation potions, resilience potions, swiftness potions, healing potions. I even have, Callie still has a boldness potion I gave to her.
Ooh, tell me
That
about resilience. What's resilience do?
Resilience. It gives me a +1 bonus to AC for 10 minutes.
Okay.
The
it just
bonus.
it makes you tough.
Yeah. The bonus one I took that immediately out when you gave it to me. It's the
Okay.
transformation one you gave me last week that I still have on me.
Okay, you still have that one. Okay.
That one I still have, yeah.
Yeah. Do
Really?
you sense at all how close we are, Sofieus? I'm getting a little nervous. I don't like leaving you in this state. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
In what state, Avren?
Has she been walking in
Fine.
like in a straight line this whole time, basically?
No, like I said, she's going around these like giant potholes, like with purpose, and almost like in a daze. There's periods of time where she doesn't even respond to what you're saying to her. Like she's moving like with a very clear like
Oh boy,
direction.
the ethics of this is not super great. I'm tying a rope between my waist and her waist,
Mhm.
so like just like a chain, like
Okay.
just to
have
make
to
sure,
put-
like in case she like bolts.
Okay. Sure, you want to stay close to me. Yes, we have done this before in large crowds of people. Aw, you don't want to lose me.
Yeah, no, well, mainly me getting lost because I see popcorn and I lose it, and hot dogs. So
Is there some reason why you think that I should take a resilience potion right now? Everything is totally fine.
no, I think you're fine. I think you're fine. I think you're
Yeah.
fine. I think that potion you gave our stabby friend might be really good. That might be good for you. You could brew one of those up while we're walking, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
And she knocks back a boldness potion.
Okay. Freely?
She's moving at just like regular speed, right?
Yeah, just like normal, like a brisk walk.
I start pulling out about, I don't know how big this cavern is, but either kind of 20 feet to the right or the left. Like I move away from the group in case like a noxious gas bomb is about to get dropped on everybody's face.
Yeah,
And-
what I like to fondly refer to as fireball distance.
Yeah, exactly. I sort of like fan out a little bit, and
Mhm.
even though I'm stealth, I tried to move a little ahead.
Okay.
I realize there's pits and stuff, but I mean, I'm trying. I'm trying to see what this is before it sees us, essentially.
Mhm. Um, so you're off on the side, kind of ahead of the party. Let's actually establish marching order real quick, and then I'm assuming you're just ahead of Sofieus because you would want to see which direction she's going in.
And the two of them are together, and then I'd be behind,
Okay.
like, I'd say 20 feet, not terribly far, with my sister. And I'm not stealthed, but I'm keeping an incredibly close eye out for whatever we're about to encounter or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, if we find out what this thing is, we should definitely rest and take a break and get prepared for what's to come.
Would you like for me to perform reconnaissance?
Uh,
My primary function is reconnaissance and
Oh.
recovery,
Do
depending on size of object.
You also primarily used to have another leg.
She still has
This
one
is
more.
unfortunate. This is sore spot. Please do not mention.
She still has
you
plenty
just
of
have another
legs.
arm.
C2D2, what is the what is your maximum speed?
My maximum speed is 60 feet.
How close is C2D2?
Wait, that would be 60 feet per
Per round?
10 seconds. Yeah, per round.
That's what I assumed, like a move and a
And I
bonus
think one
act-
round is 10 seconds. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, she can't move any faster than we can. I do not think at this
She
moment
can dash as a free action.
oh, she can rogue it up with me. All right.
I have superior perception and detection abilities.
Would it be wise, Callie, for you to go with your sister and scout ahead, or you seem very proficient?
I
am very proficient.
Yep, I'm getting that. Except, yeah.
Your flesh will inevitably betray you.
She is
Well,
obviously
you have no
not.
idea.
She's
Her little like antennas like bobble playfully on her head.
Your baubles will eventually betray you.
That if Sofieus
is
hears that, it
impossible.
sends her into a spiral because currently she feels like she's astral projecting and she's watching her body lead her somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and she just thinks a
You're
little
like,
bit too hard about that statement.
You're locked out. You'll be able to make another wisdom save in a bit here, but not
Okay.
quite yet.
So, am I absorbing any kind of conversation happening around me?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, you're almost like observing everything through a pane of glass. Like aware of what's happening, but not perfectly aware of what's happening. Like everyone's having Christmas dinner inside of a house and you're outside the window where it's snowing.
Oh.
You can
Oh.
see what's happening,
we'll save you some turkey. It's okay.
but you're aware you're not a part of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sis, let us take your example and we will go ahead and scout ahead. And I will, I guess I'll move up with my sister and we will go. I know Freely is close by. I haven't done the active perception check to see him, but I know what he's doing. So I will try to do something similar up ahead.
We're
Okay.
also mentally connected still.
Yes, but I haven't done the active perception and you beat my passive. So I don't know if I know exactly where you are right now. I just know you. And so I have a guess.
I'm a ghost.
Well, let's see. Let me do a perception check and see.
As you and C2D2 move ahead, she says, you should issue commands to your team members to scout a suitable location for camp while we secure perimeter.
You are absolutely correct. Unfortunately, I'm not the leader of this group, and on a regular basis, they do not take my advice. And so at this moment, we are forced to follow where Sofieus is going because she is in contact with the other entity that we are trying to kill.
Are you saying this out loud or in the psychic link?
All this in the psychic link.
No, we can stop now. I would love to stop. I would love to regroup at this moment. We should absolutely take a rest.
Well, then you need to stop Sofieus the same way that you were able to stop me, because otherwise I do not believe that she will cease to move towards the entity that we are hunting.
Hey, okay, well, good times. I know we all like to, sniff a little plant or whatever. I don't know. We don't all. It's dangerous. Actually, you should never do that again. Let's do restoration.
Yeah. As you
Sweetie,
do
are you doing
this,
okay?
snap, you feel like you're back in your body. And like I said,
Oh.
you have some vague recollection, like Callie did, of the voice and of walking forward and you witnessed everything happen, but it's almost like hearing the dialogue through, like I said, like from the outside. You hear snippets. You can tell that there's laughter happening. You could tell like you have like a vague idea of what happened
Mhm.
amongst your friends, but the only thing you remember really clearly is the voice. That's the part that like kind of cuts through the fog.
Mm-hmm. Callie, I think I heard the same voice that you heard. And I can only assume that I am immune now, though I don't 100% remember walking over here. Is this a safe area? Was anybody paying attention? I was not paying attention.
I don't think any of this is safe, but her and her sister are doing like a perimeter thing.
My primary function is detecting danger.
Are you detecting any danger at this moment?
And you found it.
Not currently, no.
I
I
mean,
shall
Well,
give out my customary beep beep if I detect danger. Zoop.
Please make sure that you do that in the psychic call for all those involved.
All right, Freely.
Once beeping is engaged, it may not be disengaged.
Oh,
That is odd. Do you not have that functionality yet?
Negative.
is
oh.
there is there some kind of coding that we could perhaps do to deactivate
My
the
alarm
beeping?
system must be physically deactivated with a button located on my underside.
Good
Do
to
we
know.
have permission to access this button when your alarm system goes off?
She like looks at everyone very suspiciously. Like, her large fuchsia like eyes, like the lights like narrow. Only Callie may do this thing. Zoop zoop zoop.
Until you are able to turn off your own alarm, I think it is wise to follow Avren's advice and retreat
She like
for the.
almost like kind of raises up on her two front legs. It's her like back leg that's missing and shows you like where the button is. It is impossible to reach. My arms are far too short. And she like you see her like reach over and it's like just in the middle of her chest.
This is what happens when you are only only functional for 3 weeks. Is Dad has not had a chance to actually make some upgrades. That will come in time.
Oh,
We should.
C2D2. If you would like, I have some extensions that you may apply to your arms so that you could reach your button at will. Would you care to take a look at what I have to offer?
This thought is very appealing. However, I will have to seek permission from my primary service provider.
Okay, well, you let me know.
I am
Well-
very much interested.
We should all return to the town. Dad has gone back there. We can go take a rest in our home and make plans from there. At least now we have a direction that we think we need to go searching in the next time we are ready.
Sounds like a plan.
While
We
you
were
rest, I
told-
shall perform reconnaissance.
Do you not want your fourth leg to be fixed before you go out on reconnaissance?
The fourth leg is extraneous, not required.
Do you also need permission to fix this fourth leg?
Affirmative.
Okay, then.
Let's all go back and talk to Dad and get the required permissions before you go back off on an extended trip again.
She like looks at you like a little, like gives a little pause. Her like eyes kind of narrow a little bit, and she says,
She could probably very easily tell that Callie is having that big sister moment of like, I just met you and I don't want you going off on your own.
give me a persuasion check.
Oh, sure.
Yes, Freely?
We were told that the people from this town are forced to come out here and dig all night. Should they be here now and be coming back, or should they be sent out here soon?
They'll be sent out here soon because when you first got to town, that was them at the end of their day. So they're going to sleep and then wake up the next morning and head out.
I look at Avren and I'm like, I know you're tired. I know you're tired. And we got to stop. We got to stop. But those people, they're slaves right now. And they're going to bring them back. And now she knows
Yeah.
Sherman is loose. Who knows what she's going to do? Now she knows we're here.
Yeah,
I don't know that we have 8 hours to not do something.
We're gonna die if we go in now. That's just how
I
it's
mean,
gonna happen.
you are going to die if we go.
No,
in now.
Freely, you're literally going to die if you go ahead. We need a rest and
I will
prepare.
let it be said freely, if Avern dies, I die.
I suggest that we rest.
We need to be
Alright.
cautious.
So up until now, everything that you've asked me to roll has been in Callie's wheelhouse. And so even when she's rolled okay, she's had these amazing modifiers. Her persuasion is a -1, and I just rolled a 1. So I got a 0. And I had to take a picture because it was awesome. So.
You just yeet her in a hole. You're like, I'm an only child.
No, I think it's just obvious that this is there's a tiny bit of actual concern because she just was rescued from essentially the same torture that my dad was, but it's mostly you're my sister and I just met you and I don't want you to go off alone and die before I even have a chance to compare notes.
Mm-hmm. Her like fuchsia eyes narrow and they look at you and then they widen. She says, you yourself have admitted that you are not the leader of this party and therefore I shall conduct my business as I see fit.
No, that's fine. I'm actually the leader of the party, so this is how you're gonna hang out with your sister, and you're gonna protect your sister because you're a good little sister, and you want to protect her, and you want to learn from her experience, being that she is so much older than you. Correct?
She blinks at you very slowly.
Callie makes it a point to not dispute the idea that Avren is the leader of the party at this moment. But
I use thaumaturgy to make my eyes glow blue, just like C2.
Hers glow fuchsia.
yeah, it's mine that go blue.
Mine glow fuchsia back.
Wow.
I rolled
you don't even know. You haven't even looked into her eyes, John.
You heartless.
Fuchsia eyes with her fuzzy pom-pom feelers.
Whatever color, it's the best color they chose.
Okay,
Yep,
so
let's
go
go back
ahead
to
and
the
give
town.
me a deception check. And then let's say you get a +1 from your changing your eye color.
I got 22.
Yeah. Strange choice of leader, but we'll comply.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
In the psychic link, I'll tell Dad we are coming back. We'll try to be as stealthy as possible, but we're on our way back.
So
and I'll lead them back to my home because I'm assuming that's where we're going.
Mm-hmm. You make your way back to Callie's home. She leads you the way there herself. Your house is a little bit chaotic.
That's normal.
It almost looks more like a garage than a house. There's a lot of bits and bobs and pieces. Some of them are organized into wicker baskets. Some of them are not. There are a variety of pieces of metal and limb hanging from the ceiling. And the only part of the house that is like meticulously clean and organized is Sherman's station. And you realize he's fashioned like almost like a pegboard station, with like a peg for every tool that he could ever want, shiny, cleaned, oiled, hanging in front of you like a wall of gleaming metal. And he starts like sort of bustling around when he sees you all come in through the door. And he says, Callie, can you help me figure out where we keep the spare sheets and bed? And
Absolutely. Do you know where that is? I don't know if that I've ever pulled those out.
I'm not sure we have any. I feel like at some point maybe we did. You notice him like trying to like, do we even have spare towels?
None that I have ever seen. No.
Oh Lord. All right.
It's okay. I could just use my cape.
Yeah, no, we're fine. Don't go to any trouble.
All right. I feel
Sure.
awfully bad about, not being a good host, but
Is the roof like real low?
there's
So like I'm just like,
gnomes. Yeah.
Well, it's got to at
Sophie-
least be like 5'3" because that's what Callie is. So she's, it's not too bad. But yeah.
Sophia's head is just scraping against the ceiling as she follows behind Avren.
yeah.
Yeah. It's not comically small. It's more like Hobbit size, where
Yeah.
you might have to hunch a little bit, but it's doable. What makes it a little bit more claustrophobic, and you notice the way from Callie like bobs and weaves through the house, is she kind of knows where everything's hanging, like spare parts, spare like giant wrenches and stuff like that. So she kind of bops and weaves between them pretty easily. For you, you probably smack your forehead in the back of your head a couple of times getting through there. Sherman says to you all, I know it won't be the most comfortable, but I've got some pretty good systems in place. to let us know if anything comes knocking in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And I will also be taking at least some sort of watch until we are sure that the town is completely safe and rid of this influence. I do not trust anything that is going on.
That's
Very good.
wise. I'm sure C2 will help you.
I'm sure
Probably
she will.
fix her leg first.
Yes, and you definitely need to extend her arms so she can turn off her own alarm button. That is very unwise.
I didn't figure that out until she was back from her first reconnaissance mission, and then the whole flower thing happened. I didn't have a chance to fix it. And you notice him like grab her and flip her over on the table and says, "Can we get a little bit of privacy? Callie, you can stay." As he like starts to like work on her.
Yes. Of course.
I will show my friends, we don't really have guest rooms. I will show them the rest of the home. And I imagine
Appreciate
the
that,
rest
Callie.
of the home is like, it's just a giant garage and then like kitchen in the corner and then like a cot. Like
Yeah.
it's just 90% garage.
Yeah.
Works, like the interior of a car shop. And then I kind of just motion to where the tiny little kitchen is and motion to where the tiny little bed is and go, this is the rest of my home.
It reminds you of like a
Bhullar.
Twitch streamer's house. Where like everything
Oh.
there is for
It makes me
streaming, and
think
there's
of
a bed
Animal
in the corner.
Crossing when you start off in a tent and a cot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like how Twitch
Nice.
streamers live. They live
Except
in a
we've
studio with a bed.
Only
Yeah.
ever put effort into into the motorsports area. That's it. It's just, car parts and a cot.
Hey, Callie, do you think that your dad would let me pick his brain about all of the tools that he uses? I was trying not to be rude. My instinct is to steal, but I respect you and your family, and I didn't steal anything. But I'd very much like to know what all of these tools are used for, and if Sherman can tell me what kind of protocols he has to keep his home safe.
I'm sure he would absolutely love to speak with you and to exchange all sorts of information. Please do not steal from him. I would
No,
be
of
very
course
cross.
not. No, I would never.
But he would be more than happy to talk with you at length. That was one of the reasons that I went to the surface, was to find out information to bring back to him. And so any chance he can get, we may have to wait until we are done with our current mission and saving the entire town. But absolutely, I'm sure that would be lovely. I would like to be involved in that conversation, to be honest.
Yeah, of course, I would love for you to be there because, I have some legs that I'm trying to build, and I just can't figure out how to get the joints and the gears working properly. So I was hoping that he could give me some pointers on how to get them working properly.
Well, he is quite brilliant, especially when it comes to being able to do the fine balance. So there was for a while that he was trying to give me digigrade legs, and they didn't quite work. So you can ask him about that. But at least my legs work very fine.
You say digigrade.
Yes.
Oh, what is a digigrade leg?
Have you seen any giant birds?
Yes.
Those.
Oh, I will have to ask them about those. Those would be fantastic for the project I'm working on.
Oh, is this the giant spider for Daisy?
No,
Is this the giant horse creature that you've mentioned?
maybe.
I do not think that they have those kind of legs, but sure, my dad would be very happy to help you with that. Anyway, this is my home. Please help yourself. Is that what you're supposed to do with company? I am not sure. I've only ever been to
Yes.
your house, and you were very kind and gave me food and then helped me down here. We don't really have company over.
You are a very hospitable host, Callie. Thank you. And Sofieus finds a cot and kind of curls up in a ball and falls asleep.
If you found a cot, you have found the one cot. That's
Mhm.
my dad's cot.
Yep.
But
okay.
Callie will not stop you, and she'll just look over at Freely and Avren and say, I hope that you don't mind sleeping on the floor.
No, I prefer it. It's fine. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Really very much sits there looking out the window at the people going out to dig, and just like sits down by the window and like watches them until he sort of like falls asleep on himself.
Mm-hmm. At one point, you only get awoken at one point in the night, and it is from C2D2 coming in to show Callie that her button is fixed.
When she comes in, I'll activate the psychic link because I've probably set up by the door. Because I actually don't really need much of a rest. So I would have set up by the door and been keeping sentry. So when she comes in, I'll set up the psychic link and
She
say,
scuttles in, and you notice she's faster. She says,
Ah.
upgrade acquired.
"Excellent.
Would you like to see?
Absolutely.
My legs are exactly 2.4 inches longer.
That will be very helpful. What is your
I
current
shall
top
give you a
speed?"
demonstration. And she takes a finger out, pushes the button in the middle of her chest, and immediately goes cross-eyed and goes, wee-oo, 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 wee-oo. Clicks it again.
Yep, that's good. That's good.
I can now disengage and disengage on my own.
That will be incredibly helpful, especially in more stealthy situations.
Does not compute.
Sophia's, no particular reason I'm asking. Do you have anything that likes zappy?
Sorry, I had just fallen asleep and I was having a dream about the nice.
I
not
apologize,
nice
but I was
flower
asked for a
lady.
demonstration.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. Oh, wait. Do you have like a zappy thing? Do you create, like lightning or anything like that? Or is there anything around here that creates lightning? Any of you? Anyone? We
She
are in the
moves
shop.
forward and tases you lightly on the ankle.
Yep, that's the good stuff. Okay.
Engage cattle prod function. Would you like a second demonstration?
In a second, actually. Sophius, do you
Engaging. Charging.
what kind of potions do you have again? Do you have like do you have like a healthy potion or like
What is it? I was trying to sleep. A healthy potion. Yeah, of course I
Yeah.
have a healthy potion. Would you like a healthy potion?
Yeah, I would like a healthy potion. That would be fantastic.
Okay, here you go. This one does 2d4 plus 2.
So I'm I'm not doing anything that's gonna work. I'm gonna cast life transference. I'm going to stick a pin in my own vein in a tube and connect it to Sir Bissalot. And no, I'm not expecting nothing. But I'm just gonna raise my arm above with the tube hanging down, and then I'm gonna stick the other end into Sir Bissalot. I'm gonna cast life transference.
Okay.
I'm like, so Sophia's maybe you pour the potion in the mouth, right? Yeah. Maybe you do that. Into
I'm
Sir
sorry, are you
Bissalot. Sir
trying-
Bissalot is totally fine. He's totally fine.
What? But why would you be giving Sir Bissalot a healthy potion?
It'll
then if
make him
he
super
was
strong. It'll make him
fine?
really good.
Okay, well, yeah, it would be good if he was strong for tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah,
of
you want Sir
course.
Bissalot to be strong for tomorrow, right?
I'm gonna hold open his little mouth.
Yeah.
Just here you go. Why do his eyes look like that?
Nope, that's no thaumaturgy. Nope, his eyes are nice and glowing, bright, happy eyes.
Oh, he's good. He's healthy. Okay,
Yep.
give him the healthy potion.
Yep, go ahead and feed it to him. And I'm just gonna kind of pump my arm so the blood starts maybe going into Sir Bissalot. I'm trying to transfer life. All right, go ahead and CT zap. Okay, well let's try zapping Sir Bissalot first. That's the worm. That's the name.
Can you make a second sleight of hand check? Or sorry, a deception check. This one's going to be tougher since Sir Bissalot at this point has been
crap.
dead a lot longer.
Yeah, it's
now
a 9.
He's been stitched
It's a
back
9?
together.
Yeah,
No.
but the potion dice are so
C2D2
cool.
looks at you with like the cattle prod out and says, "Why are we zapping this dead creature?"
What? Just
Avren, you told me it was alive. Sir
no, it's
Bissalot?
totally fine.
Sir
It's totally fine.
Bissalot!
Listen, thaumaturgy, just a groaning, guttural, like after you eat pizza, and it's like 4 a.m. kind of sound of Sir Bissalot. Like, oh yeah, see, totally, gurgling.
Sir Bissalot, what did you eat? My
Just
goodness.
zap it.
I shall zap this rotting worm for you as
Thank
a favor
you.
to my sister only. Zzz.
Thank you, sis.
Like
Cool.
all of its muscles seize, and you notice it like kind of like clench up a little bit and
Look,
like
it moved.
go limp again. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, now
That's
zap
about
me.
Zzz.
Yep, that's the stuff. Okay, look, I tried. Yeah, Sir Bissalot's gonna be fine. Just that's why he's so sleepy.
Oh, is he sleeping? Is that why his eyes
look like they are closed again?
It's eternal rest. Yeah.
Oh, no, it is not eternal rest. He's just sleeping. He had a healthy potion. He'll be fine.
Sophius, I cut
What?
him in half after he was in a vial of butter for an hour.
No,
I've
but then
been cut
Avren
in
stitched
half.
him together and then he is fine again. He is just having a little sleep.
He's gonna be okay. I'm gonna bring him back. So he's
I
not.
don't know
he's
what
just
that flower did to
temporarily.
you, but apparently it is lingering.
He is temporarily not alive.
In the psychic link to C2D2, I'm going to say this is why sometimes it is okay to just sit back and listen instead of engaging with organics, because it is impossible to reason with them.
Their lack of reason may be contagious. You are right. I shall disengage, and she like scuttles back to you on her four legs.
It's less contagious and more infuriating, but it could also be amusing, especially if you have the right frame of mind.
I have fear of software glitches.
That's a reasonable fear when you're young, but you do not have to worry about that from any of these people.
Sophius, I promise we're going to bring Sir Bissalop back. He's just temporary. He's taking a big nap, you know, like I take a lot of big naps,
Yes,
right?
of course. You told me. He is just
Yeah.
taking a nap.
Yep. We'll bring him back to the prime material plane soon enough. We're just gotta preserve his shell, and he'll be fine.
I'm gonna put
Really
him back.
sweet.
I'm gonna put him back into the vial with the butter and
Yep.
the flour tea.
Across the room, Callie and Freely have locked eyes.
No, I cut that vial in half. The butter flour tea vial.
Mhm.
It's
Oh.
no
It's
more.
gone.
I put it in another vial with just butter. Then
Oh, this worm's getting deep fried at some point.
Yes, Callie
Accidentally
and I-
deep fried.
We're having a moment, Kelly. This is and this is a prequel to How to Eat Fried Worms. 100%. Yes.
Yep. There's very little difference in Callie's facial expression except for her eyes, but you know, Freely. I'm thinking the same thing you are.
I look at Kelly and I hit C2D2 with message, and I'm like, I apologize, young one. We're not all like this on the surface. Most of us are not like this.
I'm just letting you know, I am totally willing to cast Warding Bond on this dead worm, and then if you eat it, you eat me.
Are you saying this out loud?
I'm watching both of you.
Avren, you are very well aware that I do not consume anything.
Okay. Well, Freely looks hungry. Freely literally will eat anything. Like, he doesn't believe in a 5-second rule. He's like an 80-second rule.
Undead, zombified, butter-basted, flour poison worm is not on even my list, okay? That's beyond my legendary scope. Stop embarrassing us in public. These people don't know us.
Can that be the name of the episode? Is
Stop
undead?
embarrassing us in public.
I think that should be the
Wasted
someone
third-
type that
third-
in chat so we can refer back to it.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
These people don't know
Yeah.
us.
I'm like, mark the timestamp. Exactly.
Sophia's has a moment of clarity and she kind of realizes what she's putting everyone through. I know that it's really weird for me to have a connection with this weird purple worm. I picked this up a long time ago when we first started our adventures together, and I've had it with me for such a long time now that I can't help but feel somewhat attached to the little ugly thing.
I don't think it.
Haven't you ever felt attached to something and you just wanted it to survive no matter what?
Negative.
I pat Freely on the
I
back.
was about to say, no, I've
feel
said
this-
Avren
I
like
feel
7
this
times.
connection.
Yeah.
I feel a connection with it. I don't know why.
That is fine, Sophius. Making connections with other creatures is what brings us joy in this universe a lot of the time. I think the issue that some of us are having right now is with the current state of Sir Biswillat.
What,
just gotta
you mean
preserve
the
him.
fact that he smells really bad and he's taking a nap?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I will wash him and Avren will make him 100% healthy eventually, I'm sure.
I am sure that he will be fine in time with whatever magics that you have to take care of him. But for now, we
Okay.
should probably
Yeah.
grab a rest so that we can be ready in the
Yeah.
morning to save the rest of the town.
He'll be okay at some point, which is not now. He's not okay at all now.
Yeah.
But we're gonna sleep now.
Oh, okay.
As I go to bed, I am going through the list in my brain with my criminal background. Who do I know that has raised the dead?
Oh, Avren, if you're going to ask me to do that, we're going to have a talk.
Just I'm in the background messaging Arkira. I'm like, do not do it. The worm is like, it is let it gone. Let it go. No, it's not worth the diamond. No.
I do send message to Arkira.
You're going to cast sending to Arkira? Really?
I have sending. I cast sending Arkira. There's a real Sir Bristlot. How you doing? So I need you to raise dead. Something that's very important to Sofieus. His name's Sir Bristlot. He's a hero. I would be in your debt.
All right, you get an
If you
answer.
would if you would bring it back to life.
Yeah, sure. Okay. As soon as I finish this ice cream, where are you?
Well, that's a long story, but you're gonna find out.
Well, you're going to have to give me more than that.
Well, I'm also with Freely. He's doing great.
That's good to know. If
Yeah.
you can give me details, tell Alindra she's got this staff that can just take us places, so we can probably get to you.
Okay, concerning.
Well, our eyes do turn some weird, I
Yeah.
don't know. Ooh, sprinkles. As
So
right now,
freaking-
Arkira is with her friends on the plane of ice cream and milkshakes.
You guys went to the plane of ice cream and milkshakes again? Ah! Yes.
I would have a plate of ice cream and milkshakes.
Yes! And
I'm making sure this is getting communicated in the psychic link if it's still up, just because I want Freely to know that he didn't get to see it.
He very much reacts like that. He goes from trying to sleep to like, oh, they're in the plane of ice cream and milkshakes again. Ah! I mean, I'm glad they're. Oh, it is. We'll tell you after we save your town, child. Just
So you find a mammal, you milk it, then you take that milk and then you freeze it, and then it's ice cream. It's kind of bizarre.
This sounds like a delight for the senses. And you
That is
notice
not at
like a
all how
hatch
that
in the
works.
top opens and like a funnel comes out. Please dispense sample for processing.
Did he give you the ability to eat? Because he did not give that to Kelly. Ooh, girl.
Dad!
What?
Sherman's just like,
Did you?
well, that was a function that came up a lot that I messed up on. So I just thought maybe I could prototype it for. Look at my wrist.
do you
I
have?
should go to bed.
Do you have? What? Wait. Do you have another one?
Well, I mean, I could remove it from C2 and install it,
Well,
or try
no,
to
I-
replicate it, but it would be a little difficult. But I'm sure it's something I could work on if you stuck around for a while.
Well, I don't want you to remove it from her. That seems unnecessarily cruel. But you know I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Well, you also haven't been here for a while.
It's only
I
been
only
like a week.
dialed in the technology a little bit ago.
been a couple of weeks. Yeah,
It's been less than a couple weeks. It's been 6 days, 19 hours, 42 minutes, and 37 seconds.
Well, my brain works really quickly. I mean, back before you left, C2 was only a prototype, like a drawing. And now she's a fully functional bot.
I just message Avren. I'm like, C2E2 says she's been awake for 3 weeks, but Kelly's only been gone 6 days.
Oh yeah, that doesn't add up, does it? Yeah. Yep,
Well,
yep,
look at
yep,
that.
yep, yep,
Time to
yep.
hit the sack. Whew, hey, I got a big day of heroin tomorrow.
Yeah, because it was. I've.
Oh,
it's
I
been
thought you
6
said something
days-
else.
It's been
Has
6
Callie
days.
started to think about this, like the timeline?
Yeah, because it took like 4 days to get to the surface.
Mhm.
And then it's been 6 days, so it's been like 10 days total since I left, right?
Mhm. Give or take, it took you a while to get down here. I had it at 11.
Okay.
11 to 12.
All right. I've been trying to keep accurate track because, it's Callie and she.
Really's
Does that.
literally, that is none of my business.
Yeah, it dawns on you that C2D2 was online the week leading up to your departure.
But I don't remember my sister being online at all.
You don't remember coming in contact with her at all at this time.
Callie, do you ever go into your father's laboratory?
Is that a separate room or?
Not really. He has like a bench that's like apart, but the room
Oh.
is like kind of like one
not-
big garage.
Not
Yeah.
Closed off.
Sophia says that, and Callie just very slowly turns to her dad and says, Dad, what's going on?
Well, testing out some prototype stuff when you started expressing interest in going up top. That's all.
And you kept it. You kept my sister from me?
Well, I didn't know how you'd react. I didn't want you to think I was replacing you. Because nothing could ever replace you in my heart, Callie.
Well,
I just made her in the days leading up to your departure so I could have a little bit of company for myself. It really... I'm proud of you, and I'm glad you're going out and getting information, all that. And I know that was something we agreed on together, but the more and more I thought about you leaving and going out in the big, great world, the more and more I thought about how cold and lonely this place would be without you.
Callie's just going to
when you
walk up
started-
and hug her dad. Just
He
kneel
hugs you
down
back.
and hug him.
He hugs you back, and he's like, I'm sorry, honey. I probably should have told you. I just didn't want you to think. I don't know. As you started prepping to leave and I started changing my mind, I just thought maybe this was the best solution to come up with a way for me to have like my own little company. So I started testing her and sending her on little day missions while you were busy prepping to go to the surface.
I understand. I wish you had told me, though, because I would have reassured you that it would have been lovely to have a sister, and it would have made me feel a lot better to know that you were not alone. That was, that was my biggest concern when I left.
Yeah, it's just I didn't want you to feel guilty and end up staying behind. You were so eager to go to the surface, and I felt like if I put the food processor on you, then, oh, the old pop thought maybe you'd never come back.
Well, I would have had a lot more beer when I was on the surface, that's for sure.
Oh, Callie, I'm sorry I kept it from you.
I'm sorry that you thought that I would be jealous, because I'm not. I'm so happy to have a sister. This is the best, and I cannot wait to do sister things. I don't know what that is. I will have to do some research to find out what sister things are supposed to be.
Stabbing people
Sadly.
together.
I know what it is like
Wait,
to
what?
have the
Stabbing people
proverbial
together.
emptiness syndrome.
Just
Well, C2D2 does have 2 more appendages than I do, and so she would probably be very good at stabbing.
yeah. I think that seems to be a theme in your family. Just-
Well, the Sherman, Zaffrab, is the one who taught us how to do the stabbing, and she'll pull out one of her real knives and turn it hilt over to her dad and say,
Mhm.
I kept the knife that you gave to me for good luck.
Mm-hmm. Sherman takes it from you, and let's see here. What'd I roll? Oh. Whoa. Oh my God. I'm using the digital dice roller today and I'm having a hard time because I'm on a touch screen. Oh no.
What'd you roll?
You rolled really poorly. He
Oh.
takes it, plays it over his fingers twice, almost like the way you would do with the butterfly knife, flips it, does a couple of nice tricks and then throws it. And he's aiming for like a dartboard that's next to the window, and instead it goes crashing through the window. And he's like, she knows.
I did not know that you were that upset. I am so sorry, Dad. And I
I'm
will
a
hug him
little
again.
rusty. He hugs you back. I'm just emotional. God, these onion cutting ninjas. Oh,
It is okay to say you are crying just because you
it's
did
the
not give me.
fumes. Honestly, it's the fumes, really.
If you had given me tear ducts, I would be crying too. You know that.
From the soldering.
really, window.
Mage hand opens the window.
No. Nope. Really, the thing where you fix the window.
Mage hand puts the glass in place, mending.
I will
Well,
run back
that's
outside
nifty.
and go retrieve the knife, and then we should probably get some sleep. Tomorrow is going to be a long day.
Tomorrow is going to be a long day. And I'm sure that you're going to do well. I'm going to be working through the night to see if I can come up with some type of solution for this noxious fume problem. Maybe I
Alright.
can come up with something.
Yep.
I don't want y'all to walk into a trap.
That would be good.
They're trying to avoid.
So is everyone going to sleep now?
I will take watch. C2D2, have you a sentry mode that you would like to activate?
I do not have this function.
Well, I will have to show you how to do that, and I will bring my sister over with me to the doorway, or somewhere where we can keep an eye on everything, and I will instruct her on how to go into sentry mode.
Yeah, she imitates you. It's like really funny to watch her do it because why don't you describe how Callie goes into sentry mode for those of our audience who haven't seen you do it?
So she just kind of collapses in on herself. She kind of just immediately sits down into a cross-legged position, and when she's around other people, she makes a noise, but when she's teaching her sister, she won't make the noise because she's learned that other people need to hear the noise in order to know that she's gone into this mode. But she just sits down kind of in one fluid motion, puts her hands in her lap, her head comes up, and her eyes just dim, and she is aware of everything that's around her, but she goes into sentry mode and can get a long rest. And so she'll instruct her sister. She'll probably have to do it a couple of times, and then there'll be some talk in binary.
Oh my god, my rolls today. Your sister observes you very carefully, and then because you're still aware of everything after you've like gone into sentry mode, she just like goes, like her legs like splay out on every side of her, and she just like flops down on the ground almost like a dead bug. And then she doesn't know how to dim her eyes, so instead she just does this. Like her eyes turn into like two squinty slits.
And I will whisper, "That's very good."
She goes, "Affirmative." And she goes into her own little sentry mode. And as you all engage in your long rest for the night, that is where we will call it for today's episode.
I have a sister.
Oh,
I step on her. No.
don't you dare.
And then there's a knife through your head. And that's how the show ends, is we kill each other.
That was the silver and that was the steel.
Yep, there we go.
Yep.
We named the show that we're in.
Yep.
That's right, Ice-T.
Thank you, Jasmine, for giving me a sister.
Oh,
Thank
that
you
was
so
adorable.
much for just being great players, just being great gamers, and being a generally lovely, socially active, just great group of people that I enjoy playing with every week.
We love you, Jasmine.
I love y'all right back. And with that, let's do our sign-offs for the week. You know what? Lauren, take it away since you've been on the verge of tears all day.
And that was just before the game.
Yeah, pretty much. Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. You might know me as the community manager for D&D Beyond. I have a sister. I actually have a sister in real life, too. Hi, Brooke.
Oh.
It's so too wholesome. Todd?
I'm Todd Kenreck. I'm the creative manager over at D&D Beyond, and I have a brother named Doug. Todd and Doug.
Meagan?
My name is Meagan Kenreck, and you can find me on most social medias at Meagan Kenreck. I'm an only child.
B-Dave?
B. Dave Walters, say words about things at B. Dave Walters on Twitter. I'm going to be running a zombie horror survival game on the Hunters Entertainment Twitch here in about a half hour. Yes, Thursday, Dark and Wish, 5 Pacific. I have an older sister named Stacy, a stepbrother named Reg, and a half sister named Leslie.
Oh, wow.
I had an adopted sibling. I'd have like every possible connection. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're all
super cool.
DMs.
True.
This is weird.
It's weird. Weird.
No.
Weird.
And they're all playing in the game in a half an hour.
It's weird. Plot twist. I
family
wasn't gonna
game.
say,
It's
but
so
that's
crazy
it.
because like we just had this holiday, this huge holiday pass in India called Rakhi, where sisters specifically celebrate their bond with their brothers, and that was like part of the inspiration for
Aw.
this episode because I have a brother. So hi, hello, I'm Jasmine, that Bronze Grove Bhullar. I stream regularly on Twitch, and now chat knows exactly what our family makeups are and our full government names. There's nothing scary about that.
Oh, it's
I
probably
mean,
fine.
if you thought you
Probably.
still had secrets, oh my sweet
know,
summer
I know.
child.
I've given up on that. a long time ago.
Listen, I have a husband who came from Canada and we had to go through the visa process. The government knows everything about me.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And about
you probably
him.
know what mouthwash you use.
Yep.
Those stories are true.
Hi,
by the way.
government.
Those stories are true. Yeah.
That scared me. That was in my brain when you did that. It's like right in the left ear hole. Hi, government.
Thank you so much for watching our show and supporting it. Go and support all these wonderful people on all platforms they're on. All right. Okay. Good
And
night,
thank you,
everybody.
Jasmine.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you,
Stay safe.
Jasmine.
Thank you.